Hey guys, so today we're going to be talking about discontinued makeup products that I feel either need to be replicated or just brought back. And I'm salty, I'm angry. And as I started to make a list and kind of prepare for this video, my list just kept getting longer and longer and longer, and I was getting saltier and angrier with each product I found that was discontinued that I absolutely love. I'm hoping not to make this video too long. I really wanted to edit down my list, but there are a lot of products that should not be discontinued. I don't understand. I don't get it. I'm sure they sold well because they were just absolutely wonderful. And I get the intrigue of something being limited edition and then just, never bringing it back. Yeah, we kind of crap all over companies that bring things back that they said were limited edition. So I get it. Companies are sort of in a precarious position when it comes to these products. But when they're so well loved, why just bring them back? Okay. I'm just angry. Okay. I'm just angry and I need to calm down. All right. So I'm going to go by brand and I'm going to start with Chanel. Chanel is a major culprit of creating like the most beautiful products. They're limited edition, and once they sell out, they are gone forever. And I don't understand it because some of my absolute favorite things from Chanel will probably never come back. So I have 3 blushes here. The first one you guys have heard me talk about and mention quite a bit is the Golden Sun blush. This is probably one of my favorite blushes of all time. It is most definitely my favorite blush from Chanel. It's just this beautiful nude color. It has this beautiful sheen to it. A lot of the Chanel blushes have, quite a beautiful sheen to them. But this just is so luminous. It's so satiny. The micro glitters in there aren't too prominent. It's just the most beautiful shade. And I can't remember when this came out. I want to say maybe 2017 or 18. I don't know, but I don't even think I realized that this was limited edition. And even though I have not barely made a dent in this, I feel like maybe I've flattened out a little bit of the top there. Anyway, Chanel blushes last forever. Even though I haven't made a dent in this, I wish I had been more on the ball and purchased a backup of this because it's gone and it is probably gone forever. So Chanel, if you could just please bring back Golden Sun number 280 of your blushes, that would really be greatly appreciated. Or you just, you know what? It can just be between us. Just bring out this color, call it something else. It doesn't even matter. Just let me know. But this color, this shade needs to come back. The next blush I wanted to talk about, it's upside down, but it's the Tweed Beige blush. It's just easier for me to hold this way. This is another just gorgeous beigey kind of blush, but this one has a little bit more peach in it than the Golden Sun. But these Tweed blushes are all limited edition. They come and they go very quickly. Everyone snaps these up because they just have that Chanel Tweed look to them, which is really so much fun. But this actual blush is so good and so beautiful, and I've used so much of it that I stopped myself because I'm like, I don't ever want to run out of it. It's so stupid. I don't want to ever run out of it, but I'm going to stop using it. Anyway, this is just such a beautiful blush. And yeah, another one that just makes me so angry when I look at this and think, wow, it's probably never ever going to come back. And the last blush I'm going to talk about is Reflex. And I purchased this when they actually came back out with it. So they came out with Reflex a long time ago. Then they came out with it maybe 2 years ago. When was this? Maybe 2. I'm completely losing track of time. It's like 2020 didn't happen. 2 or 3 years ago. And I was told that this is a little bit different than the original, but this is just such a beautiful shade, whether or not it's the same as the original or not. And it's just so pretty. And it's, it's like a baked formula like the rest of the blushes, but there's something about this one. It kind of looks like it's not fully marbleized, but like there's a little bit of a swirl in there, and it's just such a gorgeous, like shimmery, glowy peach blush. I love it. This should come back out as like a permanent, all of these should come back out as permanent shades. I don't know why they're not part of the line, of the regular line, especially Golden Sun. I feel like there's nothing like Golden Sun in their regular line, and Reflex too, actually. So that's the last blush I'm going to mention from Chanel. The next product from Chanel that just needs to come back is this Plissé Lumière de Chanel. This is their illuminating powder. And this is the one that has, it almost looks like knit stitches running up and down the pan. And this is a baked gelée formula. This is so beautiful. One of my favorite highlighters of all time. And it has this gorgeous sheen, but the shade of it is so beautiful. It is like a champagne gold with just the slightest, like ever so slight hint of peach. Like you have to catch the light a certain way to see that peach. Is just absolutely gorgeous. This formula is beautiful. And yeah, they just need to make this all the time. All the time. And then the last Chanel product I'll talk about, and then we'll move on to another brand, is this 9-pan palette called Indispensable. They even call it Indispensable, but they don't make it available to you. So this was limited edition. It came out, again, I can't remember, 2, 3, 4 years ago. And it's just, it really is indispensable. It is such a great everyday neutral palette. You can go real smoky and evening with it. You can do something really natural. It has these gorgeous metallics here. This one is like a silvery taupe, which you guys know I love. This one has like a little bit of peach in there. Yeah, this whole palette is just perfection. I wish they would come out with more of these 9 pans. I wish they would come out with this one again. It's just so good. It's just so, so good. So Chanel, this also, please, if you can, just give it back to us, please. Okay, moving on. Let's talk about Tom Ford. So another brand that when they discontinue something, it is gone. And another list I had to whittle down. So I'm going to start with an eyeshadow quad that I've talked about for many, many years now, hoping that they'll bring it back. So far, no luck. This is the Cognac Sable Eye Color Quad. I don't even know when this came out. I mean, so long ago, but look at how beautiful that is. I mean, we can just cover up the topper shade here, the coppery topper shade, and we just have the most beautiful like day look, evening look, and then you can add like this for a little party disco look. But isn't this just such a beautiful color story? It's basic for sure, but it's like the perfect basic. And none of the shadows are matte. These are all satin, and this one's like a topper, but they're so beautiful. And this quad is so old, but these shadows still perform so beautifully. I mean, look at these 3 satin shades. So rich, so sultry looking. And then here is the topper shade. Look at that topper shade. The topper shades in these quads are, usually a little bit thinner so that you can see the, shade from underneath. This one has such beautiful pigmentation so that you can wear it alone. You definitely can pick up a lot less than I did for this finger swatch and like place it on top of like this darker shade for like a really kind of multi-dimensional look. I'm getting angry again, but this is my favorite Tom Ford quad of all time. And it makes me so angry that I can't talk about it because you guys can't pick it up. So anyway, Cognac Sable. If they could just bring this back, I'd be so happy. Just looking at these swatches and then with that Chanel highlight, oh my God. I feel very emotionally charged right now. All right, the next thing I want to mention is this Soleil Contouring Compact. This is the Afternooner. This is the first one that came out. And for my skin tone, it is the best one. It is absolutely perfect. I can't tell you how often I traveled with this when I first got it. Every weekend trip to the beach, this sometimes was like the only thing I would bring. When I was at the beach, I just wouldn't want to wear that much makeup. I would just want to, throw a little blush on, add a little bronzer here and there, maybe throw on some of the highlight. I would kind of pick and choose what product I wanted. And it's just so perfect. And this compact is just so super chic. Again, I don't know why these face palettes aren't part of the permanent line of Tom Ford. Since this first one, they've come out with like 3 or 4 other ones, and they're nice for sure, but they're all limited edition. And I don't know why. Like, why wouldn't you just make this part of your regular line? I just feel like this is something that people would love. It's easy to use. It's a no-brainer. It's travel friendly. You guys get me, right? Like, why? Come on. The next thing from Tom Ford is this Paradise Lust Sheer Cheek Duo. These sheer cheek duos are just gorgeous. They're baked gelée, and there's, you know, usually 2 shades. Sometimes it's a highlight and a blush. Sometimes it's 2 blush tones. Like, they're just beautiful and they're a lot of fun. This one is my favorite because this blush shade is so, it's just like the summer shade. It's just this bright kind of coral. It's so pretty. This highlight is so gorgeous also. You can mix the two. It's just stunning. This is just such a stunning duo. And I don't understand why these sheer cheek duos in general just aren't part of the regular line. And this shade in particular, this Paradise Lust, is so good. So good. Like, look at that cheek color. It's like just short of being neon, you know? It's so perfect. Like, when your skin gets a little bit of color in the summertime, you have like a little bit of a teensy bit of a bronzy glow. Oh, this on top. Oh, it's so good. Paradise Lust, another one. It's more like Paradise Lost. Paradise Lost. Okay, and last but not least from Tom Ford, and then we'll move on, is this Eye Kohl Intense pencil in metallic mink. I know, it's just an eyeliner pencil. It's not a big deal, I know, but I love this formula. I love this shade so much. There's something really, really special about this particular metallic mink shade, and I'm going to swatch quite a bit of it here just so you can see. Well, one, what I really love about this is that it's a pencil that you have to sharpen, and I always find that those pencils, they just last longer. They don't really dry out. I don't mind sharpening. Like, I just really like the ones that you have to sharpen. And then here is the metallic mink shade. I don't know if the camera's going to capture the magic of this, but it's a metallic brown. Okay, yes, we've seen that. But the metallic is like a copper. It's so pretty, and it's just kind of like glinty. It's not just like a copper. It looks like really kind of reflective. It looks faceted. It's just such a pretty eyeliner. And again, it's like, can you even really see that much of it when you're using it as liner? But I feel like you can. I feel like you can see that glint of copper in there, but it's not this like uniform color. Oh, it's so pretty. The closest ones I've come to are Pat McGrath's Blitz Brown and Wayne Goss's Precious Opal. Those are the only two that come close to this, but this is just so special, and I'm so annoyed that they got rid of this entire line and replaced it with that emotion proof eyeliner where you twist it up, and they're just like these gel liners. These are so much better. This shade in particular is so incredible, and I'm pissed. See, I'm getting emotional again. All right, I have a bone to pick with NARS. NARS comes out with way too many limited edition products. All of their products I think are really, really nice. It's all very, very decent. I feel like if they wanted to make any of their products just part of their regular line, they should just do it. They shouldn't hesitate, and they should just do it. I have 2 things. I actually have a lot more, but again, I'm trying to whittle this down. The Loaded eyeshadow palette. Why isn't this just part of the regular line? I don't understand. It's not super funky. It doesn't seem like it's a collaboration with anyone, which, you know, those I understand. I understand you do a collaboration, it's for a limited time, etc., etc. I get it. This, I think, was just part of their line for a while, and then now it's not. And I think they always said it was going to be limited edition, but why? This is good for any time, any season, any trend. There's neutrals, there's some warm colors, there's some cooler colors. There's just a lot of different finishes, but none of them are too crazy. Like, it's such a great basic palette, and I don't understand why this is not, why is this not part of the permanent line? It's so good, and you guys heard me talk about this when I was decluttering my eyeshadow palettes. Like, you're gonna have to pry this out of my cold dead hands because this is just such a wonderful palette. I'm so sad about it. The other NARS product I want to talk about, another one, just makes me super angry. This was limited edition, and this is the Banque de Sable highlighter trio. Gorgeous, gorgeous formula. This powder, it feels like velvet when you like brush your finger over it. I think it's a baked gelée. The highlighters are so stunning. I just swatched the middle one. The highlighters are so stunning. It's such a great formula. It picks up easily. It looks gorgeous on the skin. You can like really blend it out and make a little bit more sheer if you want. You can make it really like super shiny if you want to build it up a little bit. It's so good. This compact is so nice. I feel like they came out with something that was a little bit bigger, but it didn't have, or people were saying maybe the formula was a little bit different, or it didn't have like all of the shades in there. Anyway, that was also limited edition, so you can't get that either. Why, NARS? Why? Why you do this to me? These are so, so good. And again, should be brought back. I'm going to say that after everything I talk about, but should definitely be brought back. All right, moving on from NARS. Let's talk about Chantecaille. Oh, another brand. They have so many beautiful limited edition collections, and you know, I get it. They're trying to make it very special. Most of their collections they donate to a not-for-profit for the environment or animals, and so I understand. I get it, but that doesn't make it right, and it doesn't make it okay. Still very angry about it. But the first two things I want to talk about were not part of any special collection. This was part of their line. And I still see these products occasionally at retailers, but it is gone from their actual site. And I'm very, very sad about it. These are the Compact Soleil bronzers. I don't know if these are discontinued for sure, but the fact that they're not even listed on the site makes me very, very nervous. I love these. These are just, straight up kind of pressed powder, but they're so soft and so finely milled. And the two shades that I have, this is Pkwy and this is St. Bart's, are like beautiful, beautiful bronzer shades that can also be used as blush. They can be used all over. They don't ever look like heavy-handed on my skin tone. The Pkwy is a little bit peachier. St. Bart's is a little bit more neutral, but they're just gorgeous. They don't even have any kind of like added sheen to them, but because the powders are so soft and silky, there's like a little bit of like a satin glow to them when you put them on. They're gorgeous. They're gorgeous. And I'm gonna be really, really sad. I'm already sad because I'm pretty sure these are discontinued. I love these. I love them so much. Of course, I would mention the Hummingbird, what was the actual name of this? The Perfect Blur Finishing Powder, but they are coming out with this. This was supposed to be limited edition, but because it just was so popular, because it's such a great powder, it's like a baked powder formula. It's wonderful. It's so good for blurring. They're actually coming back out with this, so that's good news. All right, next up, I feel like my anger is like building in me. Next up, let's talk about Anastasia Beverly Hills. You guys know exactly what I'm going to talk about. We've got the Mario collaboration palette. I feel the same way about this one as I do the NARS Loaded. Like, there's just absolutely no reason. I mean, other than it's a collab, and I get it. There's probably some, complications with releasing, so, contractually, whatever. Anyway, I feel like this is just such a great everyday palette for a range of different skin tones. It's just so good. The formula was good. The shadows perform nicely. This color story, I just think is, day to evening. I'm saying the same things because they're all wonderful. All of these products are wonderful for the same reasons. Like, they're just really, really, really good. This is like one of those palettes that works for almost everyone. And then of course we have the Amrezy highlighter. They just came out with that iced out highlighter and I had such high hopes for it. And it's lovely. It's a really nice highlight. It's just not, it's not even close to the Amrezy. Like, this is, the sheen of this. Oh my God. Look at that. It's so pretty. Actually, when I touch this one, this actually reminds me of the NARS. It has that kind of velvety feeling, but they're like these baked gelée products. And they're just so gorgeous. I love this. If they could just come out with one, like the iced out one is even more yellow gold. This one is more of a champagne gold. If they could come out with one that has like a little bit of peach in there, holy cow, I would probably just go ahead and buy two because it would probably be limited edition for no reason, but I would probably just go ahead and buy two. It almost looks like liquid metal. So sad. All right, moving on to Pat McGrath. Now, I don't know what's going on with her lipsticks. She has marked down her Matte Trance and her Luxe Trance lipsticks, and there are barely any colors left. So I don't know if they're redoing the entire like color range. I don't know if they're getting rid of those lipsticks full stop, which I think would be kind of crazy because, you know, considering that she started with like her matte trance, she had her kits, and then when she launched her whole like brand line, she started with those matte trance lipsticks. So I hope she doesn't get rid of them. I hope she's just maybe clearing out inventory and then producing new ones, or maybe, I don't know. I don't know what's happening. But one of the seasonal colors of her Luxe Trance lipsticks ended up being one of my absolute favorite lipstick colors of all time. And I really, really hope that she brings this back. I was really scared when that particular color was like marked down ahead of all the other colors. I was like, oh my God, she's discontinuing that color. And anyway, it's Lust Angeles, and it's just such the perfect nude. It's so neutral. It's neutral, cool leaning. So it has like a slightly grungy effect, but it's just one of my favorite nude colors of all time. This Luxe Trance formula is so good, so pigmented, comfortable on the lips. So I really, really hope she's not doing away with this whole line. And if she does bring back her line, if she does bring back her lipsticks, which I'm sure she's going to bring back lipsticks. We'll just have to see what they are. I really hope she has a color like this Los Angeles. It's like perfection. And then the one other random thing from Pat McGrath that I wish she would just make permanent or kind of come out with a line of these. So she had those kits. She had, like in those metallic, like Mylar kind of bags with the sequins or whatever. She started out selling makeup in those kits, and then she launched her big line with those lipsticks. So in the kits, in the Dark Star kit, there was this mercury pigment. And this one eyeshadow I blame for my love of metallic taupes. It was ever since this in the Dark Star kit that I thought I need to find a dupe for this, because that kit is limited edition. I think she's brought it back once, maybe twice, but they sell out. They sell out pretty quickly, and when they're gone, it seems like they're gone. And then she came out with those single eyeshadows, but those were all like pressed eyeshadows, and then she has quads with the pressed, and she has quads with the special baked shadows, but she doesn't have anything that's baked like these. And this mercury pigment is so glorious. Look at that color. Look at that sheen. It is so smooth, and the color is just so pretty. It's like gold with a little bit, like when I turn it like this, it's gold, but it turns really cool toned. That taupe really comes out. It is stunning. Just one of the most beautiful eyeshadows I own. This one color. It's absolute perfection. And I just wish she would come out with a line of single shadows like these baked ones, because they're really incredible. They're so beautiful. She had like a metamorphosis kit where she had like a copper and a gold and silver, and those were the same. They were baked, and oh, they're just so rich. The pigment is so incredible. So I just hope she comes out with these, because you can't really get these anywhere. Okay, we're getting close to the end of my bitch session here. I feel like that's all I'm doing is just bitching. But anyway, Guerlain. So Guerlain has their meteorites. They have those 3 shades. That's part of their permanent line: the Claire, the medium, and the Doré, the deeper one. And then they come out with special edition ones. The special edition ones are limited edition, and they never, ever make nearly enough, because I feel like as soon as I hear that they're in existence, they're already sold out. So the latest example of that is the one that came out for Spring 21, and this is Pink Pearl, and you can use this one as blush. Now, why don't they just make meteorites like a whole blush line? Like, why not? Why can't we just make this a permanent thing? It's so beautiful. This is basically the color of it. It's so beautiful. You can make this in so many different tones and shades. Add a little purple in there for a cooler one. Add like a lot more peach pearls in there for peachier blush. Like, why? Why not? I don't understand. Why not? So this pains me to know that this is just so limited edition, and It's just a beautiful blush. It doesn't even compete with like their regular line of meteorites, which is just finishing powder. These are completely different. So I feel like they need to make this permanent, and they just need to come out with a whole meteorites blush line. I could also say the same for the meteorites that they usually come out with during the holiday season. These meteorites have a really beautiful like glow. So they're really lovely for highlight. And they could, again, I'm going to say the same thing. They could come out with an entire highlight line for their meteorite. And again, it wouldn't detract from their regular line. It just, you know, it's like just more ways that you can use meteorite. So this one is the one that comes in the gold orb. This came out for holidays years ago, but it has a lot more sheen to it, and it makes for a beautiful, beautiful highlight. This Golden Land one, very high shine, and this one is a little bit deeper, so they could have a whole range of like highlights for different skin tones. Yeah. And then here is Electric Pearl. This one is very similar to the one that was in that gold orb that I first showed you. I mean, you know, just, yeah, they're just gorgeous. They're gorgeous, gorgeous. They would make gorgeous highlights. And I just, yeah, I think Guerlain needs to bring these back. I think they need to just up their whole meteorites line. Because like I said, all they have are those 3 standard shades, and there may be a 4th one, fair, not in the US, in different countries. But anyway, my point is they could have bronze ones, they could have highlight ones, they could have blush ones. Why not? Guerlain, if you need to hire me for like product development, I'm here. Give me a call. We can talk. Last but not least, let's talk about probably what's the most painful to me are these Victoria Beckham Estee Lauder collaboration pieces. I'm going to focus in on the single eyeshadows that came out with their first collaboration. This came out, I believe, in fall of 2016. Much like the Pat McGrath Mercury pigment, I just cannot find anything that is like an exact dupe for these. And the two that I cannot get over, this one, Charred Emerald, because this green is so unique. There's just teensiest bit of blue in there. So it's a little bit more of a cooler green versus one that has a little bit more yellow in there, which makes it a little bit more sallow looking. This is, oh, it's so beautiful. And Charred Emerald is like the perfect name for this because it has this blackened base, and then it just has this gorgeous, gorgeous green sheen to it. Beautiful. And I think what makes it really special, I'm zooming in here so hopefully you can see, is that little teensy bit of blue in there. Almost makes it, like in some lights, almost makes it look like a peacock blue. Really, really rich, like very green teal. It's just perfection. I don't know why Estee Lauder can't just create these single shades again. The other one is called Bitter Clove. Look at that. Look at that perfection. Let me do a swatch of this one too. So this one is, again, much like the Charred Emerald, but like the brown version of it. It has a gorgeous sheen. It has a little bit of like a sooty base to it. So it just looks really, really dimensional and smoky. It's like automatically smoky. Oh, that color, it's so pretty. It's like warm in some lights, and then in some angles it looks a little bit more taupey, like a little bit more neutral. So that's Bitter Clove. And then the third one that came out that year is one that I use as eyeliner because it's black, but it's another one of those, it's just such a beautiful black. It's called Black Myrrh. And again, it just looks like kind of maybe like a black like satin shade in the pan, but it has such a beautiful sheen to it that there's actually a little bit of depth to black, which I find really hard to do. So there's less of a metallic sheen in this one than there is in the other two. This one is a little bit more subtle, but there's still little something. There's little micro glitters in there. It's just the most beautiful black shadow. And I think what's so amazing is it has a softness to it. It has this like subtle sheen to it, like I was just saying, but it's still really like solid. You get like a really solid kind of line, which is why I loved using this as eyeliner. So it wasn't just this like matte black like pigment that you were putting across your eyes, which is very effective. This had a softer feel to it, but was just as solid, if that makes sense. It's soft but solid. I'm losing my mind. It's soft but solid. Anyway, I hope you get what I mean, but oh, these 4 single shadows, these 3 from Estee Lauder, this one from Pat McGrath, I feel like I could just live off of those 3. Just absolutely stunning. And then they did come out with 1 single shadow in the second collaboration between Victoria Beckham and Estee Lauder, and I thought I would mention it because this was really cool too. This shadow is definitely, like the texture of it was different from the other 3. This one is chunkier, but because it's like this white gold shade, it just looked really, really cool. Like it almost looked like there were foily bits in there. And this is another one that's so different. You know, I feel like you could definitely find a dupe for the shade of it, this sort of like tone of white gold. But the effect that it has, those little bits in there that look like little, like almost like mini paillettes, not quite glitter and not quite micro glitter. It's like kind of in between, I guess you could say. So that is it for today's video, and I've made myself both very sad and angry all at the same time. But I love these products so much, and I really, I can't understand some of these companies' decisions. Some, you know, you get like the Makeup by Mario. Again, it's a collaboration, so you get there's probably something there contractually, legally, or something. But some of these other things, I'm like, why? Why isn't this part of your permanent line? Anyway, I'm just repeating myself. Let me know your thoughts down below in the comments section. Please let me know if there are some discontinued products that you are just loving, that you would love to see come back. I could have gone on and on. There's more in my collection that has been discontinued that I absolutely love. So give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Subscribe down below if you haven't already, and I'll see you in my next video.